And Garrett, let's go through the offseason.
Okay.
Rapid fire questions. I'm going to ask you a question. You ask me a question.
Okay.
We will each give an answer to the question, but let's be, and I'm saying this to myself, let's be succinct.
Okay.
So
let's try this.
Yeah, we're going to try this. We're going to be succinct. We're going to be like, boom, 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 boom. I'm not normally a really succinct person unless I'm very rehearsed. But as you know, this show is not, there's not none of that. So this is good practice for me because one of my goals is to be more succinct, less verbose,
Okay.
less superfluous. I'm already failing by giving all the adjectives. Okay, first offseason question for you. Which transfer quarterback do you think will have the best season next year?
Best transfer quarterback. Man, I need a list of them.
Okay. No problem, Garrett. I am here for you in that. So, let's go to the old 24/7 rankings. And I will give you, you know what? I'll make it easier for you.
Okay.
Just tell me, do you think that they will be good, the same, or worse?
Okay.
Better, good, better, the same, worse.
Okay.
Carson Beck.
Probably the same.
Okay. John Mateer.
I would about the same because I need to see the weapons he's got to work with at Oklahoma.
Yeah, I actually think he's one I want it being better.
He could.
Yeah. Luke Kromenhoek, who is ranked third by 24/7 for some reason.
Yeah, probably worse.
Yeah, he's going to Mississippi State.
Yeah, worse.
Fernando Mendoza going to play for Kurt Signetti.
That one's probably better, honestly.
Yeah. Hold on. Malik Murphy to Oregon State.
I mean,
the same.
About the same or better. I guess better given the competition he'll be playing week in and week out.
He played well this
year. He was really
so.
good at Duke. I still don't understand why he left.
Yeah. Well, they ran him out.
Yeah,
they pushed him out because they wanted Darian Mensah, who I will go to next just to keep this. Darian better. I think he'll be better. He's a year older. Miller Moss.
You know what? I'll give him better.
Okay.
I think he can be better.
Connor Wegman.
Ooh. You know what? I think Wigman, down there in Houston in that system, he'll be better.
Yeah, okay. Jackson Arnold.
Worse.
Walker White. Nothing this year, better
really
next
play.
year.
That's. I think he has the potential to be better.
Okay. Caden Salter.
Worse.
Okay. Yeah, I think
worse.
So. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be the starter through the season, honestly.
Yeah. Bo Prabula.
Where did he go?
Mizzou.
About the same.
Okay. Michael Van Buren at LSU. Won't play this year unless Nuss gets hurt, but I like it.
I like it. He's in a better situation. Yeah, I like that one. He would be better.
All right. Let me get down to people who actually played. Devin Dampier. Going to Utah.
About the same. I need to see what they can put around him.
I'm actually not worried about that. I think he'll be better. All right, last one, because the rest are a little bit more up. No, there's two more. Okay, two more after this one. The most important person on this list, Thomas Castellanos. Better, the same, worse.
I mean, you quit on your team last year.
He quit on Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, but I think he'll be better. I think he'll be more like he was the year before last.
Here's the thing.
The year before last, he was pretty solid.
Do you know what I would do for the same?
A lot. Some dirty stuff.
The same is better for Florida State. Now, is it better for Thomas Castellanos? I don't know. But if he's just the same, that's an upgrade.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he's the same as he was the year before, but okay.
So, yeah.
Because last year, that one just felt weird. The way that exit,
I'm going to reserve judgment until I see what
That's
happened.
fair. That's fair.
Okay, two more. Chandler Morris at UVA.
I think it's worse. I think he should have stayed where he was at. I think
that
he
was the perfect spot for him.
He was in the right position. He was starting to find himself. I think he kind of hindered himself here.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay, this one I'm going to say better right off the bat, and it's going to be better for everybody. Mark Gronowski, from the Jackrabbits to the Hawkeyes.
Oh, definitely better.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What is your question for me?
Who has the better season next, or who has a better shot at making the playoff again next year, Georgia or Texas?
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, I'm going to say Texas.
I would agree with that one.
I think Georgia's questions.
Does Georgia make the playoff next year?
Probably, because we don't live in a just world. No, I say that. I'm bragging on Georgia. I have nothing against Georgia. I mean, you're a SEC. I don't, whatever. They've just been really good for really long. So, in the same spirit of I don't really give a crap about the Chiefs, but it'd be lovely to see somebody else win the Super Bowl. Just like it was nice to see Georgia not win this year and last year. Just nice. Let's get a little different. If it's not going to be my team, I want it to be a bunch of different teams.
Right. That's how I am.
That's it. If it's not going to be my team in whatever sport, I don't want it to be the same team over and over.
Shake it up.
Yes. But if it's going to be my team, I want it to be the same one over and over again.
Right.
That's how it works. Is it hypocritical? Yes. But I just think Texas knows more about who they're going to be next year than Georgia does.
Right.
And look, Texas has a lot of questions. Mm-hmm. But if they really did hit on these guys and enough of them played enough this year, I think the biggest thing for Texas, though, was the offensive line all back together. That's going to be the biggest thing that's going to change. Mm-hmm. The guys they have are probably going to be really good, but the other guys had to earn their way there, right? They built up through these 3 years of playing together. Yeah. This group will not have that. So that's where I expect to see Texas struggle the most, is just finding continuity among that starting 5 offensive linemen.
Right.
Even though, their version of not up to snuff, most people would probably kill for.
Take it, yeah.
But that could be what, if something keeps them out of the playoffs and keeps it, gets that third loss or whatever, it's going to be that.
Right.
So now if you told me, which team is set up better for the playoff 2 years, I would answer the same thing. Texas, because I think
Texas would be.
That's a team that could go 9-3, barely miss the playoff, then turn around, in 26 and just explode.
Right.
Because whatever their little minor deficiencies were that undid them, they will have
figured
through experience and roster management tightened up.
Yep.
So, all right. Question for you. Which team that was just outside the playoff?
Okay.
I'm talking BYU, Iowa State, Ole Miss will be in the playoff next year.
Right outside, man. Honestly, a little further outside, but I think LSU should be. Ole Miss, I don't think so, because if you miss the window this year, I think they missed their window in general with Lane Kiffin. I don't see them being able to put together the type of talent that they had this year and being able to run it back. South Carolina, I would put South Carolina in there. And you know what? Give me BYU.
Okay.
I would put BYU.
All right.
Because they got a lot coming back, man. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. My question for you, does the Big 12 get more than 2 teams? And if so, who?
Okay. This is a really good question. This is a very good question. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
And I don't think it'll be BYU.
Okay.
I think they'll be right on the outside looking in like they were last year.
That's fair. That's usually how the Big 12 works.
Yeah. But I'm going to say, oh, by the way, Micah Hudson's going back to Texas Tech.
Yeah, I was looking. Did you see it's confirmed?
I mean, Smokey sent it.
Yeah, I know. So. I've been looking, but yeah, that's interesting.
Or that's the, hold on, let's look. But now that Noah Thomas thing.
Yeah, that's going to bite A&M.
That one really. But it looks like, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't see anything from Tech.
Okay, well. I don't see it official yet.
Yeah.
But there are reports that he might be going back there. So, the two teams I think, I'm going to say Arizona State again because they've got a lot coming back. Mm-hmm. And there's always something wild that happens. This is not a homer thing, but I'm going to say Baylor.
They could. They legitimately have an opportunity.
They have a good offensive line. They've got the receiver I do have some questions about, but
they've got to find some receivers.
They've got to find somebody who can, like Josh Cameron's coming back. He had a really good year. They've got to have those guys that come in and
they need an alpha.
They need someone who is consistently explosive and not intermittently explosive.
Yes.
And they're like Monterey Baldwin gone.
One play
right?
Monterey, he's gone.
Yeah, Monterey's gone. Hawkins gone.
Ketron's gone. Hal Presley's gone.
So they got 4 guys gone. So they need some guys to step up.
Yeah.
But Trigg's gone, right?
Trigg's gone.
Trig's gone.
So you'll have Kloffenstein coming back.
Yeah.
Sure.
So but Trigg was
he was the dude. He didn't play in that bowl game, which sucked.
That was a find. That was an absolute find. I'm going to say Baylor because the quarterback coming back. I think that's going to be something. And I'll tell you this: I have high alert out for Utah because they have a young quarterback who hasn't had every bone and ligament in his body broken and torn.
Right.
And I think that's going to be lethal. Like that, if you look at Utah the last 2 years, everything else was fine, except for quarterback was a revolving door of broken people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like what's going on there. And I what was the old we ain't going out like that? Like, that's the song that's going in through Kyle Whittingham's head. So, yeah, a little old school hip hop for you there, Garrett. All right,
Appreciate that.
So that's what I think. All right, my question for you.
Yep.
Okay. Who will be the hot new kid on the block in the SEC next year?
You spent hours selecting your patio sofa. Choosing that grill would have taken weeks. Probably your car needed way more time. For sure, you would have spent months mulling over that pool of yours. Protecting your prized possessions needs no time, though. Just visit coversandall.com, create a custom size per your requirements, pick a fabric, and personalize your cover. And leave the rest to us. Premium protection for all that you love.
Ooh, hot new kid on the block.
Like the one that, outside looking in. I have 2 one of them was not on the outside looking in. They almost made it, but
Florida.
Yeah.
Florida will be. And Florida and maybe Auburn. No, not Auburn.
I don't think Hugh's got it anymore.
I hope not.
I think Hugh might be.
You know what? Give me Florida and A&M.
Florida. That's what I thought. Florida and A&M. I think another year with
A&M.
Marcel Reed, the wide receiver moves they made.
Yeah.
Like even if Micah Hudson goes back to Tech or whatever, like getting the guys that they got. Although it would have been nice to keep Noah Thomas in that fold.
Yeah.
But they also have Bussey and they've got there's this other guy whose name I'm forgetting. But yeah. So yeah, I'm supremely confident in those 2 teams being really good because I think Marcel Reed will be a year better, and I think DJ Lagway is about to run the world.
So cold.
So yeah,
so cold.
Okay,
all right.
Is it my turn?
It's my question for you.
Okay. No, I just asked you about the SEC.
Yeah. So, do Dabo and Clemson reclaim the ACC supremacy?
Yeah, but I don't think it's that easy.
Okay.
Like I think they're going to be up there. I think that getting Helt, getting a wide receiver, let's see what happens in the spring window too. It wouldn't be surprising to me to see that happen. Tom Allen and that defense is going to be really good. Klubnik in his senior year. I do wonder though because after Klubnik, they're not exactly. He's been really good about like quarterback to quarterback to quarterback. Like seriously, from even Kelly Bryant, like it was like Kelly Bryant, Then you had Deshaun Watson. Like there was some of them, but like no, it was Kelly Bryant. Who was the other guy? He was really good. Taj Boyd, Kelly Bryant, Deshaun Watson. Like then it was
Trevor.
Watson to Lawrence to Uiagalelei to Klubnik. Right now, he does not have that in the bag because again, things have changed. Right. That's not to say that he won't, or that somebody's not on that roster that's ready to rock. But that's going to be the biggest challenge for him, but I expect 2025 to be a year where we see kind of a classic Clemson that kicks most of their opponents' asses. Yeah, okay. I think so. But I think SMU is going to be just as good, so that's going to be a problem. I think if Eli Holstein is healthy the whole year, like Pitt was –
They were dangerous.
They were dangerous when Eli Holstein was there, and then when he got hurt, they weren't. Mm-hmm. So if Eli Holstein's there, then that's going to be a big deal for Pitt. I think Louisville's always going to be a team that's going to be good and a tough out. And I think Miller Moss will do well there. We just talked about that. I think Florida State will be better. How much better, I don't know. I think they're in a similar spot to Dave Aranda last year, where they know exactly what they have to make better to be better. It's just how much better can you be and how much does all this work?
Right.
I think we'll see a similar situation where FSU bounces back, not for maybe contending for the conference, but looking like a team that wins games.
Yeah.
And fixing the things that were wrong. It's kind of like there's things that were similar, like needed new coordinators done. Like that's never been Dave's problem. Like he identifies when systems aren't working. Norvell, they kind of got bailed out by big athletes, right? And look, Jared Verse is defensive rookie of the year. Braden Fisk and the Rams defense was elite because of two rookies from that team. Renardo Green, fantastic rookie season on defense. I mean, all these guys. Kalen DeLoach actually drafted in the 7th round, played a ton for Tampa this year. So the defense lost a ton of guys that were all really elite. And that's why I thought they could have hung with anybody just because Jared Verse is that dude.
Oh, he's freaking awesome.
I promise you, had he played in that Orange Bowl, just him with all the other busted hump guys that played against Georgia, it's not 60 whatever it was.
No, it's a little closer.
In fact, I bet you if he plays in that game, some of the Georgia guys don't.
Probably.
Whoa, hold on. He and Braden Fisk are going to play? No. We thought everybody was opting out. No. We want to win the game, but this really doesn't mean anything, right? You know what? Freshman quarterback, go out there and prove your mettle.
Just make it work.
My ankle is really sore. I'm going to get another tattoo of my Lamborghini. That's my Carson Beck. But yeah, I think they'll be better. It's very similar. So I think they will be better. Mm-hmm. Now, will they be elite with the moves they've made? Yeah, I'll stop at that. Better bowl team, 7-5, 8-4. I can see that.
Okay.
I can see that for them, especially since their schedule last year also was really tough. Mm-hmm. And not that it's not going to be tough this year, but the way it started out.
Yeah.
In Ireland, and then you got to come back and you get to play a BC team that you're completely unfamiliar with. They lost the last second field goal against Georgia Tech. That game was just that was an upset.
Yeah.
And then after the Boston College game, you saw how
reality
tragically bad it was. And now this year, they open with Alabama. That's going to be tough, but who's Alabama's quarterback?
No clue.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
no clue.
Alabama's got questions like they never had before, but I do think that we are looking at a situation where it'll look a lot like I think Baylor's a fair comp to that of that's what they need to shoot for is you've had some deficiencies like Dave Arandis where he wasn't doing NIL right, he wasn't doing the portal right. He made a couple of different things just schematically weren't all that right. Change those. He brought in Spavital, brought in Gus Malzahn. Now they're not changing up the system, but he's bringing in the guy who invented the system.
Right.
So he's always run that kind of same system. Now he's got the guy, who invented it.
Yeah.
To teach him how to this is where you come in and go, hey, you've been doing a good job of running this, but I'm going to show you how to really run it. I think that's the idea behind it. Changing up schematically on defense completely because you got to match up what your conference is now.
Right.
You know, I thought playing the defense that Adam Fuller had against SMU was really dumb because of that offense. Like, it wasn't Adam Fuller, but going in and saying, like, okay, SMU's in the league now. They're going to run that offense. Like, Cal, a team you beat, runs a kind of offense like that. You know, these are all teams you're going to have to play now more often. Things are different. There's coaching changes all over the place. So, yeah, I think that'll be the switch. Okay, Big Ten.
Okay.
Is Michigan back next year? Does Oregon roll with Dante Moore? And how do you see that league shaking out?
Michigan is not back. I still think they have a ways to go. Yeah, I think Oregon rolls with Dante Moore. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to look like. I think they're still always going to be good because they're going to be talented, but I don't think they're in a position to be even close to as good as they were this season. And as far as that league, I think Ohio State wins it. I think Penn State comes in second. You probably see Ohio State, Penn State Big Ten championship game. I don't think they get 4 teams in again, but I could definitely see them figuring out a way to get Ohio State, Penn State, and at least one other team into the playoff. Indiana, I don't think has the same success they had this year, but I think they're still going to be interesting. And I want to see what year 2 of Raiola and Matt Rule looks like. They have a lot to work with, a lot of work to do up there, but I want to see the jump that Raiola can make from year 1 to year 2, or does he have that sophomore slump that we've seen players have as well? That's kind of something I'm keeping my eye on with the Big Ten.
Yeah. So a couple of things from the chat. Paxton's pick for the Big 12 is ASU and Tech. I'm Tech, I think, is going to be right there. I really do.
They better be.
Yeah.
If you're not now, what the hell?
I think I'm reticent because, like, they have these moments early in seasons where it's like, guys, season started.
Yeah.
Hey. Like, where that's essentially what kept them out of the race long-term this year was early in the year before they, like, got it rolling.
Right.
If they can get it rolling and then they just have randos, like 2 random losses in the middle of the year that have nothing to do with anything, it's just like, oh, they lost to Arizona State by 3, or, you know, like, oh, Iowa State got them by 7, whatever that is. I'm not, whatever happens, you know. And I do think Kansas State's going to be better too. I think that another year of Avery Johnson, like that'll all be good and work out for him. So, again, Avery Johnson fan club. I'm
kind of nervous about K-State next year. Like, I know that there's potential. I feel like they're starting to get figured out a little bit. With Kleiman's the health issues, or whatever's going on there. I don't know if that's going to carry into next season. Like, I'm a little nervous to jump on them, but they're always in the mix and they're always good. There's just a lot of factors around that program that's got me too nervous to say, like, yeah, they're definitely going to be one of the front runners.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Anything else we need to get? I got to talk about some NFL stuff.
Hit your NFL stuff real quick.
Aaron Glenn to the Jets.
Yep.
Congratulations to Aaron Glenn. Excited to see how he does. I'm a big Aaron Glenn fan. I hope he can overcome some
dysfunction,
questionable ownership. Here was the thing that happened to the Jets. Woody Johnson in the first Trump administration was ambassador to Great Britain.
Okay.
He thought he was going to get that job again. And a lot of people around the Jets were like, that'd be great if he did. Because when he's in England, he's not messing with us. We can kind of run things. He did not get that job. Trump went with somebody else. So now Woody Johnson is there. So I think that will be the biggest impediment to the Jets' growth.
Yeah.
Is that their owner did not get the ambassadorship that he wanted.
Does Rodgers come back next year?
No.
Good.
I don't think so. I wouldn't bring him back.
I wouldn't either. You never know with that ownership group. And
Yeah. But, yeah, so I would be pissed if I didn't get an ambassadorship. In fact, if you were told, like, I would want no job in politics except an ambassadorship, and then there's about 30 of them I wouldn't want. But, like, if you want to send me to, like, Vienna or something, Luxembourg, like, Monte Carlo, the Bahamas, like, any of those, like, that needs an ambassador, I would love to do that. Belize.
Yeah.
Belize, it's a nice, beautiful country. There's some issues. Like, I'm sure I'd have to help out, like, stopping drug trafficking and stuff. But it's not like I'm doing that. I'm just saying, like, hey, here's what I know. This is where we need to do the thing. But, like, ambassador to Belize, I think would be a good thing.
That'd be pretty dope.
I speak Spanish, and my Spanish would get way better.
Oh, it would.
Yeah, it would be. I think I would have fun in Belize. Yeah, don't give me a hard ambassadorship.
Right.
Where does Herschel Walker going? Wherever. I want the Herschel Walker gig.